Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Aura News broadcast. It's now time for our daily English news edition, Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. The residents of the train station area held a protest again today against the extension of the boulevard. The construction of the new segment will involve the expropriation of a number of residents, but they are not satisfied with the compensation the government is offering them. As the construction work continued today, the residents attempted to set up tents in the way of the machinery. They did not stand their ground, however, and they were easily dispersed when the machines began to work. A number of Democratic MPs and other members supported the protest and called the City Hall to negotiate with the residents. One Democratic representative had this to say on the part of the citizens. The residents are in favor of the project, but against the violent theft. The rule of law has crumbled, and dictatorship is now in power. Rama and Valii lied to the residents and betrayed their trust today, said the Democratic councilor. The City Hall has offered temporary shelter to the affected citizens, as well as a stipend to help them pay rent in a new location. The residents have rejected this offer as well, demanding that a long-term solution be found. The Democratic chairman, Lulzim Basha, is currently in the United States holding meetings with the government leaders. Today, he met with the Assistant Secretary of State, Victoria Nuland. After the meeting, Basha announced the opposition's plan for the justice reform, which he says he consulted with Mrs. Nuland. The Democrats proposed that the constitutional and legislative changes should be adopted as a package rather than separately. According to him, this is because over the last 3 years, Prime Minister Rama has reversed laws that were adopted with full consensus. Basha's plan is to postpone the justice reform by several months, as there are 40 laws that need to be changed in the framework of the constitutional package. A notification of the Democrats' plan is being distributed through the media, but it does not say whether it has the support of the Americans. Mr. Basha has also been talking to the U.S. officials about the warnings of early elections if the justice reform is not adopted. The Democratic chairman is in favor of early elections, but he thinks that a temporary government needs to be established in the meantime that will guarantee a regular election process. After his meeting with Mrs. Nuland, Basha said that the U.S. officials have promised their help in ensuring free and honest elections. The Prosecutor General commented today on the recent changes to the prosecution, including several resignations. He said that it's normal for replacements to be made when problems are found among the departments. He said, the changes that were made after the annual analysis of all the prosecution departments in the country, we made changes to the directories in which we discovered problems. We made the changes to have a better organization and to replace the leading staff, which is a normal thing when such problems are found. There were also cases in which the leaders were aware that the problems would be discovered and they resigned from their positions, said Mr. Lala. He also commented on the establishment of a special department that will verify the background of the elected officials. We have already set up the department, he said. The background checks on the officials will begin next week. Mr. Lala made these statements today from Elbasan, where he was inspecting the construction of the new prosecution building. The European Commissioner for Immigration arrived in Albania today to meet with the leaders and discuss a potential immigration crisis. After meeting with the Interior Minister Samir Tahiri, he announced that Albania will have the support of the European Union if there is an inflow of Syrian refugees. Mr. Avramopoulos had this to say, Albania is now prepared to handle an influx of immigrants if it happens. We do not have any indication that the flow of immigrants is coming toward Albania, but if it does, Albania will be prepared. We will give a positive reaction to any request coming from Albania. This is a humanitarian crisis, and we don't want it to turn into a humanitarian catastrophe. We will be here to help Albania if such a thing happens, and we cannot rule out the possibility, he said. The commissioner praised Albania's police reform and asked for more to be done to reduce the number of illegal immigrants coming from Albania. He went on, we are going to propose that Albania be recognized as a safe country of origin. Albania must do more to reduce its number of illegal immigrants. In this regard, several measures need to be taken, like the protection of the borders and the exchange of information with other states. On his part, Mr. Tahiri said that Albania is willing to offer humanitarian aid in the event of an immigrant influx. However, he feels that this must be done according to a common plan that is shared with Europe. Albania is willing to do its duty, he said. We will carry our part of the responsibility within the framework of a European plan. We are willing to contribute alongside the EU countries. I believe that we can succeed if we are faced with such an emergency, but more coordination is needed between us, said Mr. Tahiri. Earlier today, Mr. Avramopoulos held meetings with President Nishani, Prime Minister Rama, and the Foreign Minister Bushati. President Nishani assured him that Albania would do its part, and Prime Minister Rama said that the country will stay loyal to the European values. Mr. Rama said that Albania is willing to be a part of common European solutions in order to tackle the immigrant crisis. It's been announced that a number of foreign dignitaries will be addressing the Socialist Party Congress on Saturday at 10 a.m. The Congress will be addressed by the former British Prime Minister Tony Blair. Speeches will also be given by the Italian Prime Minister Renzi and the European Parliament member Swoboda. The leader of the European left-wing party, Mr. Gianni Pittella, will also be speaking at the Congress. He is expected to mention the Socialist Party, the Socialist leader Fatos Nano, who is responsible for including the Albanian Party in the International Socialist Party. 1,500 delegates will be participating in the Congress, voting on the new party statute and on the new MPs. On Sunday, elections will be held for the Socialist Youth Forum, the party branches, and the party chairman. After maintaining low prices for nearly a year, the crude oil price in the international markets has begun to rise and is now at its highest point since December. On Friday, a barrel of oil was selling for about $42, and international stocks were going for $30 at the lowest. This growing trend comes after a decision by the U.S. Central Bank not to change its interest rate. This increases the prospects of a stronger U.S. dollar in the near future. Also, according to the experts, the news of a meeting between oil-producing countries in April has also had an effect. Some time ago now, the oil price in the international markets dropped to its lowest value in the last 12 years, sold at $30.40 per barrel. According to the U.S. Energy Agency, this was the result of overproduction created by the competition between high oil-producing countries. The increased oil prices in the world markets will soon be felt in Albania. Currently, oil is being sold at 150 to 155 lek per liter, while gasoline is being sold for 158 lek per liter. Albania's prices often fail to reflect those of the international markets. According to the experts and market operators, this is because of the high taxes imposed on the industry in Albania. The municipality of Tirana will soon begin the process of consultation for the project on the Skenderbey Square. Mayor Valiaj announced today that the City Hall will hold hearings with the residents, especially those that will be most affected. He said, "Just like we did for the playground and the budget, we will present this project to every administrative unit. I have talked with the citizens not only about the playground project, but about the projects for the small ring road, the big ring road, the new boulevard, and the new kindergartens and schools. This is the only way we can move forward with the task," said the mayor. The construction work on the square will begin right after the small ring road is finished, and according to Mayor Valiaj, the project will not block the traffic. That's the end of our edition for this evening. Thank you for watching, and please join us again at 6 p.m. tomorrow for more news in English. Have a great night.